good, everybody? So we have some new details and information about the two upcoming characters for 3.1, Luuk and Aemeath. Amy? I don't know. I'm going to be calling her Amy until further notice, okay? Until I know how to pronounce this name, I'm calling her Amy. So, Amy is going to be fusion and a sword user. Pretty interesting. Another fusion character to add to the list. I feel like fusion at this point and arrow is characters that Kuro loves the most, okay? They love her the most. Yeah, pink Nanami, Siren, whatever you want to call her, is crazy. And for Luuk, we have Spectro Gauntlets. Guys, Zanny stocks are about to be depreciated. They're about to go down massively. And I could prove to you why. I kind of have a feeling that Luuk is going to be a bit of a Yuno situation. I think he's going to have support capabilities, but is also going to be able to deal like some damage. And I can prove to you pretty concretely and conclusively why that is the case. Okay, as we all know, in Wuthering Waves, we have two current Spectro sets. Pact of Neon Light Leap and Rite of Gilded Revelation. And of course, Rite of Gilded Revelation doesn't really work too well for Lene, and it hasn't been patched, so really, it means it's not for her. It's not for her, it's not used for her. But we can read it right here. Spectro damage plus 10%. Dealing basic attack damage increases Spectro damage by 10% for 5 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. With 3 stacks, casting Resonance Liberation grants 40% basic attack damage bonus. So essentially, you get lots more basic attack damage from this. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, right? And as we know that Luuk is going to be a Spectro Gauntlets user, we can actually look on the banner, well, not the banner, the 5-star weapons right now, and the actual 5-star standard gauntlets give you some crit rate, but also look right here, dealing damage to targets under Toon Strain Interfered grants 6 to 9% basic attack damage bonus for 3 seconds, stacking up to 4 times. This effect can be triggered once every 0.5 seconds. Re-triggering this effect resets its duration. You can, like, I'm just putting 2 and 2 together, okay? Kuro Games, I'm just putting 2 and 2 together. You're giving us a basic attack damage gauntlets. You have a Spectro basic attack echo set that's already in the game, and now you're making a Spectro Gauntlets user. If he doesn't use this, it is going to be crazy. Okay? If he doesn't use this, it's going to be crazy. So I highly suspect that we are going to get another Spectro DPS. Okay? Zanny is over party. Zanny stocks are down. Well, I don't believe that. I think Zanny is obviously always going to have her place. But I think it's, you know, time to consider our journey with Zanny, you know, because obviously she is also a Spectro Gauntlets user, right here. Increases attack by 12%. Casting basic attack grants the following effects: dealing damage ignores 8% of the target's defense and amplifies Spectro Frazzle damage dealt by 50% for 6 seconds. Re-triggering the effect resets its duration. This might be a good pick if somehow Luuk does Spectro Frazzle damage, right? If you ended up having Zanny Sig and somehow Luuk ends up utilizing Spectro Frazzle, we might be in luck. You might be in luck if you're a Zanny user. But then again, if you're a Zanny user, maybe you might be considering skipping Luuk for that reason. Like, what's the point of having 2 Spectro Frazzle DPSs? Okay, like maybe he doesn't end up being that. Okay, maybe he ends up being something completely different. Still fine for stat stick, but yeah, exactly. Like it's still a good option, obviously, for the stat stick. The crit damage is there, but we do have the 5-star, you know, signature. Not signature, the 5-star option for the standard banner right here, which seems to be in line. It seems to be in line, but I think it's just crazy the amount of character. Like, Kuro just loves their Spectro characters. Because obviously, Luuk is coming at a very rough time. He is coming after Amy. So a lot of people are pulling for Lene. A lot of people are pulling for Mounier. Everyone's going to be pulling for Amy. And of course, Luke's gonna have the scraps. Luke's gonna end up having the scraps. I'm gonna be honest. I think this is going to be one of the worst performing banners that Wuthering Waves has ever done. All the current upcoming characters are so anticipated. I really think he's going to be skipped heavy. People are going to be taking a break from pulling, especially if they already have Zanny. Especially if people, or if he ends up being a DPS and people already have Zanny, this is going to be one of the most skippable characters in the entire game. Like, in the entire game. Maybe he's free. Honestly, that might even be a good idea. That might even be, if he ended up being free, that could be a W, honestly, because ain't no one is gonna be spending for him. I'm going to, obviously. Obviously, I'm going to, because I'm a bit of a male enjoyer, and you will obviously come to my streams when he releases, and you will enjoy his gameplay vicariously through me trying and failing holograms in endgame. But that's what's gonna happen. But if you already have Zanny, you're probably not very likely to pull for him. If you've been pulling for all the current characters that are coming out, you're probably not gonna be pulling for him. You'll probably want to be taking a break from, you know, the banners, because they are there's a lot of really good characters coming. So I think Luke's in trouble. That's all I'm saying. Like, Luke is positioned a little, like, he's a little bit in trouble. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, Luke is a bit in trouble. But then we have Amy. Okay, Aemeath. She's a fusion sword user, and as we all know, fusion, like, Kuro just loves their fusion characters, and they also love fusion swords. Guys, how many fusion swords do we have now? Like, how many sword users do we have in general? Hang on, let me go. How many sword users do we have? Wait, hold up. Oh my god, we have so many swords. I have Brands, I've got Genesis, I've got Cartitheas, I've got Camellias, I've got Chang-Li's. We got a lot of swords going on. There's just a few. Chang-Li Lupo has a broadsword. Yeah, we have Chang-Li's, which is a fusion one, you know. Can trigger 5 seconds, get 5 seconds the same effect upon cost of resist skill. Steering feather gives just resist skill damage for a bonus. I mean, if she does if Amy ends up doing resonant skill damage, this might be pretty cool. You know, might be pretty cool. You've got Brandt's weapon, but it's energy regen, and the likelihood that Amy is gonna scale from, like, energy regen, I don't really seeing being an option, purely because here in the standard 5-star weapons, the actual sword is energy regen. It's energy regen as a main stat. And here's the thing, if she's going to be the Sentinel Resonator of, like, 3.0, they're gonna want you to pull for her signature, right? So there is no shot that they make it ER if it's the standard 5-star. They're gonna make you want to pull for the actual sig, aren't they? So the likelihood she's gonna be an ER sword user, an ER, like, whatever, is unlikely. Like, it is like massively unlikely. So, you know, I think the options for weapons is gonna be it's gonna be very interesting discussion. What if she's a death scaler because of Mornier? I mean, I have no clue. I have no idea. Why does this logic not apply to Luke? The logic doesn't apply to Luke because he's not a Sentinel Resonator of the patch. I'll be real. If I'm a gacha developer, or I'm part of the market team, I'm gonna be like, hey, you know what? For this character, for the Sentinel Resonator Amy, we're gonna want people to pull for her. We're also gonna want to pull for their weapons too. Think of Cartithea, right? Think of Cartithea. Like, she really wants Defire's Thorn. Using anything else is kind of just, like, pointless almost, right? It's not gonna happen, right? It's really not gonna happen. So I really doubt that she's gonna be an ER scaling character, and you're gonna be able to pull it from the standard 5-star. I just doubt it so much. If it ends up being the case, I will eat my socks. I will eat my socks. I'll be real. I will eat my socks. So if she ends up being ER scaling, I will make an apology video. I'll say I'm wrong, but I just have this sneaky feeling that Kuro's gonna make it, so they're gonna want you to pull for her sig too. But with Luuk, there is more evidence to point that the standard 5-star weapon is going to be useful for him, right? The fact that, you know, it is a basic attack. It's a basic attack buffing weapon, and there is already a Spectro set in the game currently that buffs basic attack. It fits, like it's there. So the likelihood of this being the case, I'd say, is pretty goddamn high. But when it comes to Amy, we don't know. We don't have any fusion echoes. We don't know like anything. So there aren't as many hints. But the only hint I can say is that she's a Sentinel Resonator, and they're gonna want you to pull. So I'm just like, you know, it makes sense. Emma Jones only 25% worse. God, I'll be real. Only 25% worse is crazy. Oh, it's just 25% worse. Brother, just 25% makes a whole bunch of difference when it's your main DPS. When she's your whole main DPS and the amount of damage she already does, 25% is crazy. Falova is 40, bro. Okay, cool, but that's fucking ridiculous. That doesn't mean 25% is suddenly okay. 40 is insanity. It's on the lower end, Bella. Even if it's on the lower end, it's still fucking bad. It's still bad. The rectifiers are just generally just like kind of shit. It's generally just not that great. 25% compared to 40 is lower, yes, but it's still bad and does less damage. Yes, it's still not great, and it's still not good. So there's gonna be, you know, limited options for Aemeath. Well, I say limited. There's a lot. Like I said, we have a lot of sword options. There are a lot of sword options, bro. Here I am. I can't even load up a sword character. Are we crazy? Right? There will be a lot of options. Right? If she ends up being ER, there's also Brand 2, but I just doubt that she will be. Again, I will eat my socks if she ends up being an ER character. I'll eat my socks. If it's 25% worse, it means that Sig is about 35% better. Falova and Yuno Sigs are basically mandatory. Exactly, and this is becoming an increasing theme time and time again as we keep going on with Wuwa. And especially now with this new endgame mode, doubled duper, whatever we're calling it now, weapons are more important than ever. Weapons are more important. Kuro have made it abundantly clear that weapons should be considered as just of a priority as characters. Like, or not just as, almost. They should be considered on par with characters. If you want to main DPS someone, you should probably pick up their Sig, and you should plan accordingly for both, right? I think we all know that. You should plan accordingly for both. But that's why I think Luuk is going to be in the shitter, bro. People are going to pull for Mournier. Then people are gonna pull for Amy and her weapon because it's probably going to be pretty busted and pretty good for her, right? And then you expect people to get Luuk and his Sig? That is not happening. It's less likely people are gonna get Luuk anyway. To get Luuk and his Sig? Not fucking happening. So for him to even be fucking usable, that's why they've made this gauntlet. So he can be fucking usable. Because without this, he's probably going to be fucking garbage. And everyone's gonna complain, and everyone's gonna say he's the worst character ever. Like, literally, that is what is going to happen. So that's why I really think that this is his weapon. It's going to be this. He's going to be a basic attack damage dealer. He's going to be a DPS. Because if it turns out he's not, and you actually want to pull a Sig too, that's going to be crazy, because no one's going to pull for this character. No one's going to do it, and everyone's going to complain that he's fucking shit. Everyone's going to complain that he's shit, because he's not going to have... People aren't going to pull his Sig, because they're out of fucking funds. If the 5-star gauntlets that work for him, he's not gonna have any fucking options. So it's like, he's gonna be ass. He's just gonna be fucking trash. He's gonna be one of the lowest pull characters like ever. If you think people are gonna pull Mournier and not save for Aemeath, I think people are skipping Mournier. I think there are definitely Mournier skippers, but the buffs that Mournier is probably gonna give is a lot. Right? And she's like, the Mournier Linné combo goes so crazy, I think it's enticing for a lot of people. I do think people will skip Mournier, but a lot of people won't too. And even then, even if they go all in for like Amy, they're still gonna be in a pull there for Luuk. They're still going to be in a major pull debt for Luke, and they're definitely not pulling his sig. The current featured 5-star Gauntlet don't fit basic attack damage type right now. Right, so like, there's no other option. Luke is gonna have literally no fucking options. Like, literally, you must pull for this. If you're not gonna get his sig, you must pull for this. So you might as well start pulling now, boys and girls. I'm gonna be real. If you want Luke, you might as well stop pulling for this gauntlet, because I'm like 90% confident this is what you're really gonna need on him. Cause ain't no one pulling for a sig after Amy. Like, if people will go all in for the break team, you're going to have 0 funds on Luke. No, exactly. If people really go for the toon break meta with like Morny and Lene, the funds are gonna dry so quickly. And then don't forget, people after Amy, people are gonna start saving for the Cyberpunk collab like crazy. So anyone who's coming out after Amy is gonna have less of a good time because more people are saving all their pulls for the collab. Luke is fucked. I'm telling y'all, Luke is absolutely fucked. He's screwed. He's screwed. He's got no shot. No one's gonna pull his sig. No one's gonna pull this character, and everyone's gonna complain that he's trash because no one has a weapon to use on him for it. Like, Luke is doomed from the beginning. He's actually doomed from the beginning. Like, it's sad. I don't want it to be the case. I don't want it to be the case. He comes just after everyone spent their pulls for Amy and starts saving them again for the fucking Cyberpunk collab. So, while I think the Zanny's over, maybe his only saving grace, because again, if you've pulled fucking Zanny as well, you already have a Spectro DPS, you're even less inclined to pull for Luke. So you're dealing with Amy just having been there. You're probably going to want her and her sig. You've had Mornier. Cyberpunk collab coming up later. You've already got Zanny, so it's less of a pull pressure to do so. You're already going to pull for him for the fun of the game at this point. You're only going to pull him for the fun of the fucking game. I'm going to, because I'm doing it for the fun of the game. But you are just going to see so many people be like, this is why Men and Wooer shouldn't exist, because they don't sell. Like, no fucking shit, this character is not gonna sell. Like, no, no shit. He got no chance. He got no chance, brother. None. But it will be, that's why I think it will be so funny if he ends up like outshining Zanny in some way. If he, yeah, it's intentional. He's placed in a position where it'll make least impact to their overall revenue. Zanny was the Annie character, so everyone have her. He got Banway. Yeah, he got the Banway treatment. Luke got the Banway treatment. He got the Lida treatment too. Remember, Lida was just before Miyabi. Guys, do you remember Lida was just before Miyabi in Zenless Zone Zero? Oh, guys, do you remember Hugo was just before Yishuan in Zenless Zone Zero? Guys, do you remember Banway was just before Kanye Shlong? Yishuan Wang? Yeah. Just before the most OP characters in the game. Luke is the most skippable character that Wuthering Waves has ever created. No one's gonna pull this character. If he outshines Zanny, it's the worst case scenario, direct power creep. That's the thing. If he ends up doing good damage without the need of like Peeb, or like a lot of Zanny's problems come from the fact that like you kind of need Peeb. They're tied to the hip. You can use Spectre Rover, of course, but you're tied to the hip by like 2 different characters. And like if Luke comes close to Zanny's damage without being so restrictive, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot, especially if you can use like Lene and Luke. It's gonna be something. If he ends up outshining Zanny, he still won't get his skin anyway. I'm not doom posting Luke. I'm not doom posting Luke. Okay, guys. I feel like my concerns are very reasonable. Type 1 if my concerns are reasonable. I think they are. They're not concerns. They're just like truths. I think my concerns are like just absolute truths. I'm not doom posting. I'm just kind of saying how it is. So people should be prepared for this outcome that Luke's gonna be terrible. However, if we talk for Amy, there's not really that much to say, to be honest. There's not really that much to say. Also, Kuro is like teaser so badly, bro. Luke gold, Spectro gold, Amy blue, but fusion. I wanted her to be Glacio so bad, man. I wanted her to be Glacio so goddamn bad, bro. I understand it makes sense because of like probably her lore relating to fusion and the fusion of stars and all that sort of stuff and the Exostrider. I understand it makes sense by lore, but goddamn, I wanted a Glacio character. Goddamn, I wanted a Glacio character, bro. Like, it's like, we also got Blue Girl Brenna. Yeah, I know, fusion between man and machine. Lucilla Shirley. And I just, that's what I wanted, but we're not getting it. But anyway, that's my analysis. Oh my god, Captain Cabinetz doing like Wuthering Waves, like analysis of characters. What happened to me? What happened to me, bro? Like a year and a half ago, I wouldn't have been dead doing any of this, but here we are. Yeah, it's up to me, the man lover, to like say that this character is fucking doomed. Like fuck. Yeah, we ain't getting Glacio till like 4.0. It's not happening. It's gone. It's gone. Actually, I hope the Glacio character is the Cyberpunk collab character. That'll be sick. Yeah, where's the Goonalysis? Sorry, my bad. The Goonalysis is yeah, he got like gold blood. Do you reckon his okay, you know what? I think that's enough of the Goonalysis. I appreciate y'all. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know. Am I wildly off base? Is my take way too far, or do you guys agree? Let me know in the comments down below. I appreciate y'all. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Twitch.tv/CaptainCabinetz, Captain Cabinetz.